Hey, big hello once again to everyone watching. Welcome back to City Bus Manager and welcome to our Croydon save, where in the last episode we decided to create this monstrosity along with, do we have our other IKEA Express liveried vehicle? Our new Route Master? No, we don't. That one is especially dedicated for our IKEA the second route, which, speaking of, we actually do have to assign the shifts for. So I will get around to actually doing that. Well, apparently we don't have a bus to actually run these shifts, so that is still a bit of a problem. That is a bit of a bottleneck we do have with our current operations, is the fact that we don't actually have enough vehicles. However, with that being said, we did mostly last episode. Oh, there have also been a few updates since the last episode. I should actually mention that as well. Hello, Tico. It's good to see you in chat. A nice regular. There have been a few updates. We can upgrade our buses as well so that they have, like, you know, all the bells and whistles such as USB charging, Wi-Fi, extra comfy coach seating. But this is London, and, you know, when you cross the London boundary, you do have to set your clock back about 10 years. So we're going to have none of that. It's going to be the most bog standard seating arrangements. No added luxuries, no bells or whistles, and maybe even occasionally you'll get yourself the bread van on your regular route, which is 9 minutes late. This came about from me just randomly trying to buy vehicles at the lowest possible price. I think also in the update... Oh, actually, speaking of the IKEA the second, the Express Route, here's our other branded vehicle, which does have a Blaja shark on it as well. See, our motto, shipping you and your sofa to IKEA. But with that being said, just speed up the game, slowly milk these routes for all they're worth, make the money. I think this vehicle doesn't need any maintenance just yet, even though it's steaming, but it's a Scania, so we do sort of expect that. Also... I do actually want to find out how on earth I apply, because I did get some more Steam Workshop liveries, which I have an E200, some darts. I just don't actually know how to apply them, because I know for a fact they are for the Lion City, and some also for the 0405. But whenever I go to paint the bus, and I try add delivery, it just says that's not possible. So I'm a bit confused. But that is beside the point. Doesn't exactly matter. Come over to load some liveries. Browse the Steam Workshop. I mean, sadly you can't actually see this. Okay, but how do I actually... Okay, so those are the local repaints. I don't actually know how to apply the Steam Workshop repaints. Because these are all my local ones, which I don't exactly want. Although in saying that, I was going to say it's a bit laggy. Wasn't really applying them properly. Oh wait, actually, in saying that, here we go. We have an Arriva repaint, although it isn't actually in the Dart livery. If I can find... I am gonna need to message my friend who actually made some of these liveries. Let's see if I can find the Dennis Dart liveries just from here. I can get a Metroline Dart, which I shall get. A London... Go Ahead London one. I was about to say London United. No, they're just very much not the same things. Also, what is this for? This is for the 05NH. The problem is I don't know what the NH actually stands for. So it is a bit of a problem. Yes, I actually have no clue on how... Also going to cancel this, save the game automatically. Go to the bus marketplace. go over to buy myself an 0405. Can get some upgrades. Oh, you can't actually buy them from new. Okay, so the recent updates, what is actually changed is the fact that now buses don't come with air conditioning as standard. Also don't have any routers, so again, can never be able to track them and they will forever be lost. But if we click down here on our existing fleet, we can upgrade them if we wished. Though I suspect that requires research, it does. So I'll research everything, even though I'm not going to use everything. Research some new buses, some single-deckers, and some articulated vehicles. Get some bendies going, because I feel like that will also be nice upgrades to get some bendy routes. We could also create a express route when we expand further. Oh, I was actually going to say expand further to the east, but actually we have already expanded up to Bromley, so I can extend the 119 all the way down to Bromley via Hayes. It's also actually almost at Biggin Hill, so we could create something like the 464 or 264 320, even though it is a bit out of our remit to actually operate. But with that being said, the 119 is currently very busy, so I feel like editing the route, coming down to Addington Road Glebeway and extending it down to Bromley North, which is what it does in real life. And this section of routing actually has some exciting plans for it that TfL have literally just announced today, a couple of hours ago. Wasn't actually TfL, it was more the mayor, but then TfL released a consultation on it in terms of their, what was it called, the Superloop idea, where they're deciding to rebrand 4 existing express routes in London, the only 4 that exist, the X26, the X140, the 607, and the brand new X239 even, I should say. Also stop talking for a bit so I can actually concentrate because I'm currently lost on... There it is, there's Glebeway. Yes, so it will be rebranding those routes underneath the quote-unquote super... what's it called? Superloop branding, which is a bit of a vague branding. I don't know if I fully like the name. I feel like a name like the Orbit, like an Orbit type name would have made more sense. But the idea is to create like a circle line, but for buses in outer London. The 119 comes down through here, Hayes Road, Hayes Lane, which the 119 route in between Croydon and Bromley will become part of, as well as continuing on from Bromley down to Bexley Heath, so following probably the 269's routing, which is slightly strange because you wouldn't think that the 269 would be the route that they'd go for with like dedicated branding up in the frequency of that, since, well, I mean, it doesn't seem that busy a route. It's largely only double-decker for the peak time. Well, not peak time, but school time loadings, actually. However, it is not a bad thing, honestly. I do actually applaud them for their attempts. But I just think, if you actually take a look at the branding, firstly, the branding is a bit on the mess side. You look at it, you go, you know what, it's something different for London, but regionally, this would have been done a lot better. So it's a bit disappointing what they have decided to do. Also, that's a strange route in... What on earth has happened here? Okay, go via George Lane, then via Hayes Library, Hayes Station Approach, and then Hayes Station. But yes, so what this is looking also to create is then also on the north half of the river, create a circular loop between so Heathrow up to the what's it like, Hayes and Harlington area. Next stop, Blame Road, Addington Road Glebeway. There we go. Yep. What's the frequency of this? It's every hour. You know what? Might increase the frequency of this because it is pretty busy. So get it down to every half an hour. Also up in the frequency of the X26. That will be fantastic to actually see. So it's finally every 15 minutes, because honestly, the X26 is so busy every single time I use it. Creating some new routes between North Finchley and Ilford, the Royal Docks in North Woolwich. Sadly, there won't actually be a bus link between Bexley Heath and North Woolwich, so it's a bit of a strange idea, and there are a few routes that kind of don't fit in. For example, they are including the X68 in this Super Loop branding, as well as the brand new X239 route, which doesn't connect up to these Super Looping routes anywhere meaningful. But I think it is a proposal in the right direction, at least. That much can be said. It definitely is something that I do hope happens, but also happens alongside some improvements in terms of bus priority measures, because that's absolutely what London needs. We don't need more express routes if they're just going to be stuck in traffic behind the regular routes as it is. They need dedicated bus lanes, bus-only traffic lights. Bam, bosh, fantastic. Then you've gotten yourself a really nice network. Also, we have a bendy on the 466. In real life, that would... Actually, I'm trying to think if there's anywhere on the 466's route in real life that would prohibit bendies. I'd say probably more towards the Coulsdon area. I think the turn up just before Coulsdon town. Where is it? Not here. Over here in Windmere Road, I think... Oh, Soatsnets, that's where that area is called. I think this turn in here might prohibit bendies on the 466. But off the top of my head, I don't think anywhere else is too bad. I think most of the routing could justify bendies. I mean, I don't know if the patronage would justify them, but the routing certainly would allow for it. I don't even know why I'm looking into the hypotheticals of whether or not the fictional 466 routing I've created in this game can accept bendies when, you know, I'm running double deckers on the 455, which I know for a fact runs underneath a low bridge in Purley. Hello, busboy Ben. How are you? Everything is doing relatively okay now. We are actually, you know, picking up passengers. It's not completely horrendously overcrowded. However, it is also coming into rush hour, and it's not particularly busy either. So I don't know if that's a bad sign of our network starting to fail, or it being efficient. I can't tell, considering we've had 21 shift cancellations in the past 2 days. I'm leaning towards the former instead of the latter. But yeah, so we could actually try emulate this orbital routes idea. So we've upped the frequency of the regular 119 to every half an hour. Let's create a new bus route, which shall be the X119, because this is probably what is going to happen. It's a dedicated route between Croydon and Bromley, so it probably isn't going to start at the Colonnades. It's probably going to begin around Croydon, like West Croydon area, maybe East Croydon, although I don't think there is any stand space for a terminating route at East Croydon, considering, well, whenever routes get turned short there, if they have to stand for anything longer than a couple of minutes, that's it, they've blocked up that road. So I'll start it off at West Croydon, bring it down to Dingwall Road, East Croydon Station. Probably get it to serve... I don't know if there is space actually to serve the bus station, so it probably isn't going to serve the bus station. And then, according to TfL, this route just goes express to Bromley, not stopping anywhere else. However, I don't think that that's likely. I feel like there will be some stops in West Wickham and Hayes area, and Shirley. So one in here by West Wickham and Shirley Baptist Church. I feel like that would be a good spot for an express route to stop. One by High Street The Grove in West Wickham, and it's taking the most indirect route possible instead of just going in a straight line. That is a bit strange. But okay, if the game feels like that this is an ideal route, and sure. It might also be worthwhile actually running this up over here so it goes past West Wickham Station, maybe. It would definitely probably serve around Coney Hall, because this is a big interchange point between routes. Although maybe it would just go direct to Hayes Station. take it down to Hayes Station, and then probably run it direct to Bromley. To Bromley South before going all the way up to Bromley North. Coming back down to Bromley South Station. Then to Hayes Station. Run it over here and then come via High Street to the Grove, West Wickham and Shirley Baptist Church. And then run it straight back up to East Croydon, West Croydon and terminate. You're doing good. I am doing fantastic as well. I am just, you know, after seeing the proposals that TfL have for their new orbital routes thing, sort of just like, yeah, in a good position, couldn't really complain, honestly. So run it every single hour at 15 past the hour, so it vaguely constitutes about a bus every 12 minutes, 5 buses an hour, vaguely. I mean, granted, we also don't actually have the vehicle to run this. Now, I would be very tempted, this bus is also absolutely minging, so we're going to clean it. Very tempted to create a dedicated, I was going to say a dedicated livery for it, but there is one that already exists, which I could try replicate. It's not very imaginative. I do have to actually pull it up because I have forgotten that's how dull the livery actually is for this super orbital, super loop, crazy TfL idea. I'm going to also get the PNG of the logo because I have to actually slap that on. Just let the game run in the background whilst I am doing all of this. So the super loop, where is... There we go. Oh, that is actually very interesting. Huh. Okay, so save this over in textures as super loop. Again, can't see this. That is fine. Don't need to worry about it. Get that onto the IKEA shuttle. Just sort of watch over my network whilst I'm busy creating some assets for this brand new super loop thing that TfL have done. I don't actually know if I really need to create any more assets other than the logo, ideally. Yeah, I think just get the logo and then also get Superloop. The Johnston font. Superloop. It's also in bold. Also, apologies for anyone who doesn't know what I am talking about, because this is literally something that has just been announced today. Get this saved. Oops, maybe not overwrite the previous thing I just saved. That's not really what I wanted. Less than ideal, I'd say. Yep. That is the original Superloop. And then also I'm going to need to create some names for places. So this is West Croydon. West Croydon, East Croydon. Gonna get all the call-in points on the side of the bus. Save as East Croydon. And then it stops off at Shirley. Then West Wickham. Although in real life, this route might also not actually run along this actual routing, because it doesn't seem like it has been entirely finalised. This entire Superloop branding thing, especially down in the south, they're largely just going to apply this branding to the existing regular express routes in London at first, before then actually rolling out new routes dedicated to this, which I feel like is sort of a cheap way of going about it. If you're going to roll out branding like this, you might as well go the full hog and actually, you know, introduce all routes at once. Bromley South, and then also get Bromley North. And then obviously can also rebrand our X26 service to in this Superloop branding, which is going to happen in real life as well, to the existing X26 service, which will be interesting to say the least. Get that color. Okay, so what we shall do is now go over to the new bus market. We're not going to get second-hand vehicles for this service. What we shall do is get a Route Master, which actually comes with air conditioning. Real life, not accurate. It's, well, it's air cooling. Or should we go with... Also, hold on, sorry. Air conditioning for Scania Omni City. Nah, come on. It's the opposite. You'll be absolutely roasting, especially if you're anywhere near the engine. These things are absolutely boiling towards the back of them. I kind of actually do want to just brand up an Omni City, because I feel like that would be entertaining. However, the Omni City doesn't really have that much like space in between the windows for branding, so I'll just go with this for now, which I shall get in a TFL Reds. Before then, also starting to deck it out. Ignore all the IKEA rubbish. So what was it? Superloop stuff. Get the Superloop logo, the Superloop actual name, import in some of the assets that I made, then also what is, so we have West Wickham, East and West Croydon, Shirley, Hayes, then also Bromley North and South. There we go. So, now, let's recreate the most exciting livery TFL have decided to make in recent times. Oh, hold your hat and hold on to your hats when you see how innovative this is. Because, trust me, this is... Oh, they're really, like, blowing the brain cells out of it at TFL headquarters. Let's see if I can get also the electric vehicle logo. Electric bus logo. You know what? Tiny little details, don't need right now. Okay, so. This is the brand new Superloop livery that they've decided to go with. Yep. That is the base livery. And I know what you're gonna say. Wow, that is absolute like garbage. Is this another one of your creations? Like the like the 166 route branding you tried doing? Nope, this is actually what a livery they actually want to go for, which is absolutely insane. However, they do also put the Superloop. Let me find the picture of it. Yep, Superloop branding. I'm actually also going to put up an image of this onto screen, just so that... Oh, nope, that's the IKEA image. That's not exactly what I was going for, but I shall find... It's saved somewhere in here, hang on. Just to give you guys in chat and everyone watching an idea of what I'm actually going for. There we go. That is the route brand for the brand new Super Loop Express orbital thing that TFL have decided to do. Yep, it's not very innovative, but you know what? I do commend them for it. They are actually doing something somewhat different. That does remind me to actually... Okay, so up here it's sort of like that. Maybe a bit smaller, actually. Well, actually, over here it will be a bit bigger because of the staircase. I can't exactly fit Super Loop into this, though. That's the problem. Into this space, and this takes up too much space because usually it will be here, like this, the logo. But you know what? That is fine. Get another Super Loop logo over here. The Super Loop. That'll be its shorthand name. It's also in red. The logo right by it. The Super Loop. The Super Loop. There we go. That is gonna have to be the compromise here, sadly. I do also have like a line asset somewhere. There we go. Because there is that branding, which I shall put into this sort of blue color. Hold on. There we go. I want it to be in this color. There we go. And then gonna have the same thing over here. Don't actually know what the back of this bus looks like. I've just realized I've not seen a picture of the rear. And I don't think there are going to be any pictures of the rear because I'm looking hard and everywhere for it and can't find a thing. A single picture of the rear, so I guess that's a work in progress. Although, also, they do have on the other side, which I don't think I'm showing, there is like the four colours of the Super Loop logo. That's, for some reason, only on one side of the bus. That is strange. I also can't actually really do it here. That's, you know, I'll do it just underneath the window line. So it's like this. But it's only on like the passenger door side. It's not on. It's not like a wraparound. So I don't quite understand it. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway. But it does confuse me slightly because I feel like it just looks better if it actually properly like wraps around. I guess. I mean, then again, honestly, I wouldn't have gone with a white top. I guess this is throwing back to the vintage London United days. Then also get this orange colour, which is just underneath the blue. Something like that. Get something across the front like this. I mean, granted, the decal system in this game isn't the best, so you can actually see the outlines of these images, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I mean, just overlook it, please. I'm begging you. We then also have this sort of like, it's not really magenta, right? Purplish pink. I suppose is really what I'd go for. Get that over around like this. Hello, Valentino. Again, great to see you in chat. All my regulars. Get this on this side as well. I am just currently recreating the brand new announcement from TFL, their Super Loop network thing. The final color, which is like a kind of ghastly green. Well, I say ghastly. It's more light. It's bright lime green. I don't I don't really know if I like the colours. It's a sort of strange mix, and there's only 4 of them, and there's going to be, well, a lot more than 4 routes, because they're starting the trial off with 4 express routes that already exist in London, so I'm not 100% certain what other colours they're going to use, or what these colours actually represent. But, you know what? That's what TfL have decided to do, so I guess I'm not really in a position to judge them too harshly. At least they're doing something different. They're trying some more route branding. I was just reading the Train Sim Classic Journey Superloop. Yes, this has literally just been announced today by TfL, a brand new Superloop idea of express orbital routes around London's capital. Wait, not London's capital, the capital of the UK, London. Which, honestly, I, again, don't understand it, if I'm being entirely honest, because a large majority of them are just going to be existing routes slapped on with like an express variant. Create 2 at the end. So how many destinations are there? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in between this I need another 5. There we go. Get 5 in between there. Get another 5 in between these 2. Try hide up my ugly mess. Get some stops in between. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So get 1 over in between there, and then get up the actual what's it called? Actual names for it. This is sort of what the route branding will actually look like for this service. Although, in saying that, they have done it in like TfL Blue actually, is the route branding. Also, they have the National Rail logos. I don't. So TfL bus logo, because I'm going to need to get that, and then also National Rail logo, so I don't have that asset. I'm doing great, Valentino. How about you? National Rail logo, because I don't have that saved to my hard drive, sadly. Save this image. Get that, and then also where is... There we go. Actually, this actually works. This asset that I'm looking at. Apologies, I am doing this off screen. You can't actually see what I'm looking at. But I am all will be revealed. So import in National Rail, which is giant. Then also get the buses logo. There we go. So in terms of the color, get the corporate TfL blue, I think. So Bromley North. I've also just realized it would probably be ideal if I had actually stacked the names of the places. Is that what they do on their branding? They don't. They just make them really small, the text, which is... Because see, now that's just not legible. You won't be able to read that. But that's how TfL are doing it, so I guess I'm copying them. And then Bromley South, Hayes, Shirley. Oh, just realised I have messed up because West Wickham is before Shirley. West Wickham, Shirley, then East and West Croydon. East and West. See, now that just looks really convoluted, but here we are. And then underneath there are some logos for what you can interchange with. So underneath East and West Croydon, you'd get bus logos, since those would terminate at the bus station. So get some... Okay, the game decides to save at East Croydon as well, and as well as Bromley North, I'd argue. And then for the National Rail logo, I'd say East and West Croydon, Bromley North and South, as well as West Wickham and Hayes. Although West Wickham, like, we serve the High Street, we don't actually serve Hayes, well, West Wickham Station. West Wickham Station is a bit of a trek. So there we go. East Croydon, Hayes, West Wickham, Bromley South, and Bromley North. There you go. The only stop that isn't the station is Shirley, which, looking at it, maybe it would be ideal if we didn't actually serve that stop. But you know what? Again, it really doesn't matter. So I feel like it would be ideal if you start East Croydon, West Croydon, then West Wickham, then... No, sorry, Shirley, West Wickham, then you have Hayes, West Wickham, then Bromley South, and then Bromley North. Then get the buses logo to go up there and up here. And then get the blue colour. I don't actually think that's quite the colour. That's not really the right colour. Also, apologies, I am a bit behind on chat at the moment. I will actually get around to catching up. I am just a bit too busy recreating this. Spending a bit too much of my time on it. Next up is Shirley. And then... no, it's not Shirley. It'll be Hayes. Because I forgot I'm doing this backwards. I'm thinking from Croydon. Then it's West Wickham. There's West Wickham. Then Shirley. Which doesn't interchange with anything. Then East Croydon. And then West Croydon. Which doesn't quite fit with East Croydon. Well, I do imagine on the finalized product they would actually have the text stacked, so it's not as abhorrent as this. But this is the general idea for what they're going for. I'll also get rid of the picture on screen now. Save this as the super loop guff. Don't really actually know what to call it. I mean, you would also get the like operator logo underneath. Can pretend like this is ran by First if they still cared about the London market or maybe London General. Get the TfL buses logo, can't forget that. Got to make sure you have branding everywhere. Since we are in Bedington Cross, I will actually use the Connex logo. I just realised I don't actually have the Abellio logo. That would make sense for this. But that doesn't matter. Just use Connex. There we go. And then save this as Super Loop 119 livery. Well, actually, it will be X119 livery. There we go. Save locally. There we go. And it's over here. Our brand new Hyperloop liveried stuff. Yeah. So I'm doing great. Thanks, Valentino. Are they going to make a circle line but with buses? Yes, that is exactly what they're doing. Bromley North to Bromley South. Are you going to try to challenge Southeastern or what? What about the overground logo at West Croydon? Wait, hang on a minute. Hold on. You make actually a good point. Oh, ball bags. Yeah, no, you're right. I actually have forgotten the overground logo. Yeah. At West Croydon, it should actually have... You know what? We're just going to pretend like in this universe the overground didn't happen. Also, it's mostly being covered up by vents, so... You know. It's fine for now. Send this out, but actually get it cleaned and also change its oil for the love of God. Look at what this is doing to the planet. The poor trees over here are dying thanks to this. Who cares? Yeah, it's fine. Honestly... it's probably a good thing that you actually completely forgot about the IKEA shuttle that we actually created and the express IKEA route. Also, this bread van is absolutely on its last legs. What has happened to it? This is what happens when you just get people boarding the bus with flat pack, like dining chairs, an entire kitchen, you know, their front living room, just straight onto this service. Also, that is such a different colour where I put the wrong frequency on because it used to be every 60, and then I was like, you know what, instead of getting the same colour, I'm just going to slapdash some random yellow on. That's actually almost an offence to my eyes to look at how wrong that shades of a yellow is. Assign IKEA the second, because this is a 24-hour route, I think. In Red Hill, there are buses that go to West Croydon. Yes, that is the 405. I know it very well. I really enjoy the new custom times and timetable. I actually haven't, I haven't used that or utilized that yet, but that is very handy on routes that don't have, even frequencies. And there are quite a lot of routes out of London that run stuff like every 40-minute frequency, or have, every 40 minutes, but then into work with something that operates like every... You know what, I'm going to put the Superloop branded bus on the X26, even though it is a bit lost. Because it's going to serve West Croydon and East Croydon, but then everything else will be wrong. But yeah, it is good fun, although as I said, I haven't been able to utilize it just yet. But I will get around to that eventually, I feel. Clean up some of my vehicles. Get them all prepped for service. The 64 can get this little bread van on it. Even though in real life that would be suicide. 405 have Enviro 400 MMCs. I do know that. It's going to continue Salt Lake City Bus Company. Oh, so you've created a bus network in Salt Lake City, I guess, in America. I don't know why you'd willingly create a bus company in America, considering, well, the state of American public transportation, but, you know, different story altogether. Actually, that would be a good challenge. I feel like that would be the next save that I try to do, is go in an American city, something that is probably very car-centric. Go maybe Houston in Texas, or Phoenix in Arizona. Just try to create a network that people actually use, and then submit that as my CV to become governor for the state. Nothing is actually operating yet on our Express X119 service. With that being said, actually, it'll be really handy to go around and actually change the frequency of some of the routes that just slightly go over like every hour, so that they only utilize one vehicle, but I don't think I have an example of that off the top of my head. Just because, as I said, I do actually want to use the custom timetable and feature that has just been released in the latest update. That would be really useful. This 109 is 11 minutes late. Not great on a high-frequency service that runs every 15 minutes. You're basically the bus behind. But I guess we'll let you off. How much stand time do you have? The answer to that question is no. You just don't. Straight back out again. Get some internet. Yes, but we are in London. We don't quite actually know, you know? Internet contracts, usage yesterday, 0 gigabytes. Do I really want to get like 16 gigabytes a day? £240 a day? I mean, 64 gigs. Get 64 gigs for these guys. I mean, honestly... Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna... Oh. I sort of messed that up, I'm not gonna lie. You know what? This is exactly what happens. You get scammed out of your money whenever you try to get a new phone contract, so... Accurate. At least I don't have the options of, like, EE or free or O2. Oh dear, O2. If you had any choice, always avoid O2. Absolute worst provider. I mean, 400k in Salt Lake City, that's great. We get 2 gigabyte internet a day for the company. Well, I sort of messed up and I got 64 gigs a day for this company. We don't even have any free Wi-Fi on our services, so I genuinely have no idea what we're actually paying internet for. What, you want real-time live information? Sorry, that costs way too much money, and we're a broke independent. Wait, hang on, what do you mean we're supposed to be TFL and we're government funded? No, we're still a broke independent. Although, in saying that, I feel like a good trial bed would probably be this vehicle over here. What we're going to do is upgrade it so it has Wi-Fi, charging ports. Okay, it's very temperamental. It doesn't want me to upgrade all my buses. Aircon? Nope. Passenger information? Again, nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Premium seating. Again, this is a TFL service. We don't know what that means. It is really frustrating how I can't actually select all this. You upgraded all your buses too. Yeah, sadly, the game just said no. Don't upgrade it. Okay, there we go. Now we're installing the iBus system, which TFL has had for about, what's it now? 18, well, maybe not 18 years. Over 18 years. Not 18 years, actually. I can't do maths. It's 15 years now, because it's first started being installed in 2008, actually. I don't know why I said 20. Wasn't the turn of the 2010s. I have 21 routes in Salt Lake City, and I run them at about 20 minutes frequency. We're on OMSI 2 right now and role-playing Scuntfall 2016, saying that National Express West Midlands have taken over routes 12 and 4 of Enviro 400s and ALX 400s. That is very nice. It does make me want to launch up OMSI because it has been a little while since I've played it. I would actually quite like driving the ALX 400 right now. But sadly, I am here... Well, not really sadly, because I enjoy it as well. But I'm here also on City Bus Manager. Assign the 40... I just realised I've assigned the IKEA bus on the 407. Well, that's a misallocation and a half of the century. So for shift schedulers, can we automatically assign everything? Now, the problem is, one, don't have enough bus drivers, and also don't have enough buses. So, quite short-staffed over here. So for the IKEA shuttle, sad news is, we have sent out the IKEA shuttle bus on some poor route. The souls that have to actually use that vehicle on that route. Where is an available bus? Oh, well, hold on, here it is. There we go. Get an First London branded vehicle. Straight out. Where is our IKEA shuttle branded bread van? Oh, there it is. It's on... Oh, Jesus, it's on the 64. And it's 168 minutes late. Wow, talk about TFL efficiency. Hang on, this guy's going back to the garage with 10 people on board. I think he's terminated short at like East Croydon or Whitgift Centre and just gave up. 2007, yeah, it was 2007 when IBUS started rolling out. It's actually, the trial was around 2007 and they started implementing it in 2007, but it was like properly mass rolled out in 2008. A lot of vehicles had to loan in other buses, so we did actually see quite a lot of provincial buses operate in TFL land, and we saw some weird like branded, well, weird operators in areas of London you just wouldn't usually see them. For example, seeing Metroline in Bromley because they were covering for like some stagecoach Selkent routes in, let's say, Catford, in the Catford area. So you saw some Metroline Tridents covering for iBus floats. Well, being iBus floats, I should say, not covering for them. So we're currently following the saga of the 455 that is nearly over 2 hours late. I was about to say, it's close to 2.5 hours late. Pretty normal bus service in London. Driver's definitely drunk. Oh, don't even speak of that. It's the 64, so it would have been a Thornton Heath driver. He would have been off his tits on something, like the 198 driver a couple of years ago that decided to crash into West Croydon bus station because he was still under the influence of some drugs that he had taken the night before. You know? Yeah, here we are on the 455, the IKEA shuttle, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes late. Impressive. Really, really is. I think that is our most delayed service today. Don't think we're going to come anywhere close to getting up to 2 hours delay on anything else. We have 15 grand, which is not great. Sort of do need a bit more. I also can't really pay back any of my loans, so it is just a waiting game now, basically. Start refueling that Lion City. Average Croydon driver, yeah. 455 with that vehicle, very good. Honestly, I sort of was mortified when I saw it was on this road outside Croydon University Hospital. For a split second, I thought it was on the 109. Because there are some routes in my save that I just never want to put tiny vehicles on, such as the 109, the 466, and some other major trunk routes. Because I just feel like that is like a heinous act that would get you ousted for like massacre and just like a service like that, basically. Because that's what you're doing, you're massacring it when you put a tiny little bread van on such a busy route. But on the 64, that's fine. On the 455, that's actually pretty accurate. Has this guy made up any of his delay? He has. He's now 132 seconds. I wish it was 132 seconds. 132 minutes late. But yes. Now it's mostly just a waiting game. Get these cleaned. This is smoking a bit, but it's an Omni City. You come to expect that. How is our Super Loop branded vehicle doing? Where is it? Should be on the X26. It is... Yes, it is on the X26. It's by East Croydon. There it goes. East Croydon Station. What about our brand new X119 service? Are there any in operation? There are not, because the first service doesn't start until about 7. Yeah. About 7 o'clock is when the first Express 119 service runs. I suspect in real life when people actually implement this, it's not going to be that late of a start. It probably is going to be around 6, and it will... I kind of hope they don't reduce the frequency of like the routes that parallel these brand new Super Loop services. Because I could definitely see them reducing down the regular 119 to like every 20 minutes and then having the Express 119 be every 20 as well, so it interworks to be every 10 minutes. Which, to be fair, would be pretty beneficial to me because it is a link I do use pretty often going between Croydon and Bromley. So if anything to speed that up would be an added bonus, I would actually appreciate. But at the detriment of the local stop-in service, I'm not 100% certain. 132 minutes is better than TfL, at least that's true. There was a train driver in Germany who used the PA system to complain about trams that they had to drive around. Wait, so he was complaining about having to drive around other trains. How do you do that? How do you decide to swerve out of the way of some trains that are blocking your path? Made up the delay by 36 minutes. That's extremely good. That's honestly really impressive. However, it is also just the start of the day, so I'm not 100% certain on how the hell that person managed to be over 2 hours late. Although, in saying that, it has gone back onto the IKEA shuttle, and it is only 16 minutes late now. This isn't a trick. This isn't a con. I do only have one of these branded vehicles, so this is still the same one. I do wonder if I can find where the other... Oh, speaking of the devil, it's right over here. The other IKEA Express branded vehicle, which is on the 407, must be confusing all the regular punters. My National Express West Midland drivers like being early, so I'm doing the same in the C400R. You know what I tend to find? I find it's always best to set yourself about 5-7 minutes late in OMSI, then just hammer it, really. Never have to hold back. You can have fun, go as fast as you like, sod the speed limits. Obviously, I'm talking from personal experience dealing with, well, mostly Arriva drivers I tend to find drive like that. You know, you'll see them sit on stand for about a decade and then decide, you know what, being about 132 minutes late, yeah, now is a good point to actually leave the stand. And then they actually go so fast you think the bus is about to take off. 407, 407 veg are going crazy right now, yeah. Actually, to be fair, all the veg in Carshalton are having a field day, considering we had a Superloop on Superloop branded X119 service on the X26, as well as the IKEA branded vehicle on the 407. So all the vegetables in Sutton and Carshalton are just eaten well tonight. No, he's basically complaining about how broken the trains are, basically. Oh, that's fair. I've actually never had any drivers do that over the PA system. I have had a few, like, guards and conductors who I just speak to, especially for for trains that are about to be scrapped and withdrawn. Speak either of their absolute distaste, hatred, or actual loving of the vehicle of the class that is about to be withdrawn. Also, this 455 is 2 hours late as well. What is it with the roads in Croydon today? Why is everything 2 hours late? Are they absolute just gridlock? I mean, nothing else on the network is particularly... I spoke a bit too soon. Hello, 64 driver, that is also nearly 2 hours late. Would you like to explain yourself? I'm currently being iBus control, breathing down this guy's neck. Why does the 407 stop at Central when towards Wadden? Isn't Central a one-way stop? Central is a one-way stop. Where is, Am I blind? Oh, yes. Does it actually stop? Oh, it does actually stop in both direct. Whoops! That is a mistake, thanks for pointing that out. However, I can't actually be bothered. I'm too lazy to change that, to fix it, in other words. But yes, that's certainly a change I do have to get around to doing. You play Croydon on Roblox. I have actually tried that. It is... You know what? The modelling is great. I do like the world building. The scenery is great. The buses are great. Biggest gripe, physics, not accurate. Sounds... They're passable, I'd say. Honestly, that's how I describe them. But, I might actually do that on stream one day, play Croydon on Roblox. Possibly. Oh, the 4552, it's fine, we'll just pull paper sign saying the bus stops here. Yeah, no, or in TFL's case, what they do is they put a little, like, temporary bus stop, which is just, like, a sign on a stick that says, well, it doesn't even say anything, it literally just has the roundel on it, so you have no idea what actually stops there. There are no timetables, so you don't know the frequency of the route stopping there, you don't know when the next bus is going to stop, you don't know anything. You also, half the time, don't even know if buses are going to stop, because there have been occasions where you stand at a well, at least I have stood at a temporary bus stop, put my hand out for a vehicle, only for it to go sailing past, because the person driving hasn't realised that there's a temporary bus stop there. So they just think you're trying to be cheeky and hail the bus on like a non-existent hail and ride section. This X26 has decided to take stand time in Wallington Green, taking a different route to get around to East Croydon Station. Intriguing. IKEA the second is really, really busy. This route does justify actually having bendies, probably. But I don't know if I can justify spending that money and also spending it on the branding. On the branding for that brand new vehicle. Maybe over time it would pay for itself, but... I don't know. I did create some really cursed liveries in the last episode, so I feel like I'll probably leave it at those before I create any more. But in that being said, I shall buy, I think, 2 more Route Masters. I've just realised there is also inflation in this game, because the price of the Route Master has just gone up another £1,000. What? Oh god, wow. Inflation is so... It's hitting so hard, it's even hitting the virtual world and City Bus Manager. Load up my... Where is it? Where are you? There you go, the Superloop X119 livery. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but then again, TFL are just completely bankrupt in the ideas department, so... But I guess can't entirely complain. You can, but we ignore that. Less said about it, the better. Oh no, the IKEA shuttle bus isn't going to run. EU Route Master, look, I know, but I have decided to create it on this vehicle because in real life, the launch of this brand new scheme is was unveiled on an Enviro 400 City, which for some reason was Abellio's, even though none of the existing express routes in London that are going to get this Superloop branding are ran by Abellio, so I'm not 100% certain what they were thinking about that. But I've decided that would be better. And by the way, the buses will be Skunkthorpe depot based for the 12 and 4. Interesting. I saw a video where a biker ran into a bus stop which weakened it, only for it to be knocked over by a van later on. The company never put a temporary bus stop in its place. So a local made his own one. Oh, you know what? I have actually seen that video. I know exactly what you're talking about. That is... It's funny, but also sort of sad how the council just went, you know what, it's not really our problem. You know, it would be better if people stopped knocking over this bus stop. But, yeah. It's because of subsidies going down, I think. Really? Wait, am I being subsidized to, I am still getting 128% of my earnings as subsidies. So you're telling me that I'm subsidized to actually pay... To buy vehicles? Question mark. Huh. Although, in saying that, this also does have all the upgrades. I don't actually think I'm really confused as to how I've accidentally set that. Because now... all the vehicle... Oh, that's... Okay, no. That is why it's more expensive. It's because they have all the upgrades pre-installed. But I don't actually know how it set that, because I certainly didn't do it myself. I do kind of wish there was an option to, like, disable some of these upgrades, because it would be nice to add it to certain vehicles in the fleet. It's just I don't want every single vehicle to have, like, premium seats and air conditioning. So it'd be nice, you know, in the marketplace if you could just turn off certain... Oh wait, you literally... You know what, ignore me! Ignore me, it's... me talking of a new feature idea would actually be ideal if I, you know, clicked and tested them out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And in the game, National Express runs Coventry buses. So, hello, Van Deer. But with that being said, I shall be leaving this part right here because I have to run off, get some errands done. So I thank everyone for getting this far. If you're new here, do be sure to leave this stream/video a like. If this is your type of content, be sure to be subscribed for more. Turn on the notification so you get notified every single time I go live, because I stream City Bus Manager content at least once every single week, along with OMSI 2 content, OpenTTD content, City Skylines content, as well as some future stuff. Sorry, I also stream Transport Fever 2 content. I almost forgot about that. Some other future stuff, along with probably NIMBY Rails, I think I'd expand into. But if that does sound like your cup of tea, do be sure to subscribe for that. I do thank you for getting this far once again.